Welcome, good day. My name is Mark Malore. I'm a principal here at the Malore Law Firm. I wanted to take a few moments of your time and speak to you about the differences between Chapter 7 and Chapter 13 bankruptcy. I get a lot of clients in Moreno Valley that come to me with that particular question on their lips. Mark, what's the difference between Chapter 7 and Chapter 13? I hear all these chapters of bankruptcy, I don't understand them. So I want to take a brief moment and explain some of the major differences. There's quite a few, but I want to explain the major ones to you today to give you a broad brushstroke overview so you have something to take with you very quickly here. The first distinction you should note between the two is that Chapter 7 is a discharge of all the debtor's debt. In other words, all your debt is discharged once the court discharges your bankruptcy in the bankruptcy court. Chapter 13, however, is what we call a repayment plan that you're put under. And so in a Chapter 13 bankruptcy, you repay a portion of that debt. Could be 10 cents on the dollar, could be 100 cents on the dollar. It really depends. But what's important is that there's a repayment of the debt. So that's the first distinction. Chapter 7, no repayment of the debt. Chapter 13, repayment of the debt. The second distinction is in terms of the time frame for you to obtain the discharge. In a Chapter 7 bankruptcy, the bankruptcy court will typically discharge your debt from the date of filing to the date of discharge in about 90 to 120 days. Whereas a Chapter 13 bankruptcy will take approximately 3 to 5 years to complete and obtain a discharge from the court from your debt. You might ask, why does that occur? Well, very simply, you're repaying a portion of that debt to your creditors over 3 to 5 years in a Chapter 13 bankruptcy. Whereas in a Chapter 7, the debt is all discharged, at least the unsecured debt, and so there is no repayment plan. There's nothing to take a whole lot of time. The debt's just discharged. So another big distinction between the two. Finally, I think it's important to note that one of the major distinctions between the two deals with the economic times we're in right now. Now, I know a lot of my clients that own homes in Moreno Valley are underwater. In the Inland Empire here, we're underwater about 50%, depending on what locale you're in, but at least in Moreno Valley, I know for sure we're about 50% underwater. So what am I saying by that? What I'm saying is that the encumbrance on your home, or the mortgage encumbering your home, let's say is $500,000, your home is worth $250,000. So the value of your home is less than the value of your mortgage encompassing the home, and so you're underwater. And that's typically the situation we're here throughout Southern California, but also especially hard hit here in the Inland Empire. So if you're in Moreno Valley and you have that situation, you may also be in the situation where you procured an 80-20 type of loan, 80% first, 20% second to buy the home with 100% financing, maybe an 80-15-5 where you put 5% down, got a 15% second and 80% first. Or you may be under the situation where, as the economic times were multiplying, going on top of 30%, on top of 30%, on top of 30% over the years, 2003, 4, 5, 6. You may have taken out a home equity line of credit on your home to buy some jet skis or go to Jamaica or put on a new addition under your home or send your children to college, whatever it was. In any event, you have a second on your home is the bottom line, and that second is going to need to be evaluated, because what you want to look at is how much debt carry am I carrying? Is it better for me to discharge the debt, or is it better for me to repay the debt and discharge the second on my home, or get rid of the second on my home that's encumbering the home? There's some particulars in order to do that process. We call that process lien stripping. But one important distinction to be made is you can only do lien stripping in a Chapter 13. You can't avail yourself of the lien stripping process in a Chapter 7. So another major distinction between the two. The other thing that's required in a Chapter 13 lien stripping process is that the value of your home must be below the value of the first encumbering your home. Because if there's any equity portion that's above the first that can repay the second, you can't do a lien stripping process. So it's important to make that distinction from the get-go. But if you're in that situation and you might benefit more from stripping the second from your home, let's say you have a $120,000 or $150,000 second encumbering your home, and your home is worth less than the amount of the first, if you strip that second from your home, that's an immediate $125,000, $150,000 equity injection back into your home. And that may outweigh the portion of the debt that you have to repay over a 3 to 5 year period in Chapter 13. But you need to take a look at those facts and analyze those. Be happy to talk to you about it here, myself or my partner Alan Sanders, who handles the bankruptcies as well. we can go through your factual analysis and deal with your particular bankruptcy situation, which is different for everybody. But I wanted to take a brief moment here, give you some distinctions between the two, Chapter 7 and Chapter 13, for you to chew on and consider if this is one of those options you're thinking about in terms of strategically defaulting on your home or dealing with your financial situation in these hard economic times we're all in. Good day, and look forward to hearing from you.